Nick Darr with Big Z Media here. We've talked to hundreds of business owners over the course of many years, and we've been just really a student of small business over many years. And one thing that we love to help businesses advertise and market their business at Big Z Media. We have a variety of different platforms to help you do that, whether that's radio or print or a full service of digital options. You know, if you're a small business owner, you should be spending about 5 to 10% of your gross revenue on advertising to let people know who you are, what you do, and why they should do business with you. When you do business with us, you get great service, you get multi-platform advertising campaigns with terrific creative, and we'd love to help you put together a campaign that really helps you get tangible results and helps you grow your business and succeed in business, which is not easy to do. As we've seen on the show, there's a lot of challenges, but one of the biggest reasons why small businesses don't make it is because they don't understand how to market and advertise their business, how to acquire clients. We can help you do that. Give us a call, Nick Darr, Big Z Media. You can check out bigz.media, and we can help you get started on a strategic advertising campaign that delivers results for you. Welcome to Business Over Brew. I'm your host, Nick Darr. Pleased to be joining you again on another episode where we talk business with some of the Riverbend's most interesting and influential business leaders. Doing that here at the Great Rivers Tap and Grill inside the Best Western Premier. Terrific little hidden gem of a restaurant, terrific menu, great service. I highly recommend you check it out. And great guest here today with us, Denise Sparks with Sparks Junk Removal. Denise, thanks for coming on the show.
Hey,
Appreciate
thanks
it.
for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, just tell us a little bit, just a thumbnail sketch of how the business got started and kind of where you grew up and just a quick synopsis.
Well, as you know,
Yep.
I started in 1993. I had a carpet cleaning franchise, which grew into water damage, mold remediation, fire, smoke, and I follow the industry. And after about 10 years of doing that, I got into property preservation, which is junk removal, basically.
Right.
And about 4 years ago, rebranded, and Sparks Junk Removal and Hauling was born, and that's where we are.
Did you grow up in the area here?
I grew up in Bethalto.
Okay.
Don't you see the CM colors?
No,
Purple
that's
and
true.
gold.
I didn't catch that until today. So, what made you think in 1993? What led you to becoming a business owner or an entrepreneur? Have you always had that spirit? Has that been a background of yours?
You know what? People from high school, and I don't remember this, but a lot of my friends told me, I always said I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I always wanted to own my own business. And I love people, and I care about people's needs, and I guess it just led me to where I am today. Actually, 30 years.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's amazing. Most business owners don't make it that long, that's for sure. So our owner, Sam Stem, was general manager of the radio station for 26 years, and I was just talking to him earlier today. I said, I don't think I'll make it 26 years.
Sure you will.
But then I said, well, you know what, though? It's already been almost 8, and it's flown by. So it's interesting. You grow up thinking about it, entrepreneurship. It's like this great dream. And then sometimes you get into the day-to-day and it doesn't always match up, but it is a challenge. And I think maybe most people, I would say, that are entrepreneurs are competitors too. Have you had that competitive spirit, do you
Always,
feel? Yeah.
always. I've been that way. I listen to what people's needs are. You know, I kind of sit back and take in what people will talk about. And I think that's why I've had so many different areas of business, and now, you know, we're adding other things as well.
Right. Well, and we'll talk about those here in just a minute. Take us back though to 30 years ago. That first day of getting started. What were, do you remember some of the emotions and thoughts of that day?
I worked out of a bedroom out of my house.
Right.
Out of a bedroom, like a 10 by 12. I remember too, I forgot to tell you, I got into the carpet installation as well, because I would go in and people's houses were flooded, and I'm like, oh, well, they need new flooring. So we took on contracts with Sears, Home Depot, Lowe's, and I remember the first day they delivered 3 tractor trailer loads of carpet and pad to me. I had no idea what I was doing, but I made it happen.
I'm sure your first customer was happy to hear that.
We made it work.
Right. It's a different world too in 1993. A lot of people maybe don't, but just being a woman in business back then is a little bit different.
Computers were just
yeah, sure.
coming on board.
Right.
So I was learning the technology side of it. I was scared to, punch the wrong button on the keyboard and blow something up on my computer, let alone running 11 crews of guys on carpet installs and doing mold remediation and fire and water. So,
right. What have been some of the biggest challenges in your business career as you look back and think, well, I don't know how we survived that?
Oh boy, it's still a challenge today. I would have to say employee retention is a huge factor. And I talk to junk removal business owners, men and women all over the United States on Facebook all the time. And I've always wondered, is it just our area? But it's everywhere now.
It's an industry that has a high turnover rate in general, or I think every industry has a high turnover rate these days. It seems like maybe.
Well, 30 years ago, it was a high turnover rate then. So I just think that the generation behind the way that I was raised, you worked for what you wanted, and today the generation is different.
It is, and just the area changed so much too, where I think it used to be so many people that we know are parents or friends of our parents, they went to work at Olin or one of the factories in town, and that's where they were for 50 years, and then they retired, and that was it. Like you didn't change jobs, let alone careers. Now people my age, 46, I think the average is, the number used to be, you change not just jobs but careers 3 times in your life, like a totally different career. Probably more than that now.
I think that you have to have the enthusiasm and you have to have the work ethic in you. And I'm the youngest of 5 girls, and all my sisters were workaholics. And, in our era, mom stayed home, dad went to work.
Right.
It's not that way now.
No, right.
So I've always had that strong drive to better myself. And if there's a new venture out there, I study it before I jump in the fire.
Right. Well, since we're there, speaking of new ventures, tell us a little bit about some of the changes here recently to your business. I know you've got some new things going on.
We have added weekly trash service to our business, which is just really exploding. Last fall, I had a lot of my customers come to me and ask me, since our locally owned company had retired, if I have ever thought about this opportunity. And I said, actually I have, because what's the difference between going in somebody's house and removing trash, debris, than going by your house every day and picking up your trash at the curbside or down your private lane? There's no difference. So I started working on it last October. By January, we were getting a lot of feedback from people that were very interested, and April 7th is actually when we started doing it. This Monday, we received our first big truckload of our trash cans, and
congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
exciting.
I guess, yeah, it is. And I think that when people see them out on the street, they're purple with a yellow top. I think it's going to be very eye-catching.
CM colors again. So yeah, absolutely. So 30 years, obviously you still got a lot of energy left and ready to take on the next challenge.
I hope, yeah, I do. Age is just a number, they say.
Right on, yeah, absolutely. So tell us a little bit about just, talk about, the core business, because you've got this new one, but we probably didn't touch on enough. Just what you do, what you've done over the last few years from a junk removal standpoint.
I think what a lot of people don't even realize too is, besides junk removal, we do it for people that are transitioning from, say, their home, they're elderly, and they need to go into assisted living, or they need to go into a nursing home. We also do estates where people pass away.
Right.
We get the everyday person that calls and says, hey, I've got a garage full of stuff that I need to get rid of. So on that flip side, we also do rubber-tired dumpster rental. That means that we've got 10 yards, 12, 20 yards. We rent dumpsters to people every day. And then we also do demolition.
When you say rubber tire dumpster rental,
It's a trailer that's
I
a
got you.
dump
Yeah,
trailer
sure.
with tires on it. So we're not setting a dumpster per se on your concrete driveway.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. That's such a valuable service for people that are going through such a traumatic time in their life of maybe losing a parent or grandparent to be able to have somebody come and take that off their plate. That's got to be I would think that's been a lot of rewarding days in your career.
It has. I think one of the things that we hear a lot is, oh, we rented a 40-yard dumpster and we've been doing this for a month. And we go in there, 4 or 5 of us, and we're out of there in 2 days.
Right, yeah.
They're like, oh, I wish we would have known, so.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine there's been a lot of people in that situation. Well, we'll get over there and and then they don't, but just to have somebody come take care of it for you is a great service. You mentioned employee retention and recruitment is a challenge right now. What are some things that you do to attract and retain quality employees?
I mean, we advertise like any other company that, we are hiring. We also, when we're in a pinch, we will hire through a temp service if need be. And we've had to do that a few times. It's worked out well, but right now we've got a good core of people, thank goodness. So
you're one of the few people that said that on this show, because everybody's got the now hiring sign up, it seems like. So
it's everywhere you go. I mean, I would probably say it too.
Right.
If I could have that sign on my vehicle all the time, now hiring.
One of the things that we not a topic that we plan to talk about necessarily, but COVID was such an impactful thing in all of our lives. Talk about how that impacted your business.
Oh, wow. When COVID hit, I was so afraid that it was going to shut us down. And I have to tell you, for business, it was great because everybody was home.
Right.
And all they did was look at all the junk in their house and the phone rang off the hook.
Right. Yeah.
So
it's funny. There were definitely winners and losers from it. I think it was one of the things that I take away from it was just the innovation, the ingenuity of so many local businesses that I saw that found a way to say, okay, we're not allowed to do this anymore.
And we're going to do it with this way.
So, I think it caused all of us to reevaluate what we're doing and think about different ways of doing things, which maybe ended up being a good thing in a lot of ways.
I would say probably during that time, about a large percentage of people would call and they would put everything at the curbside.
Makes it easier for you guys, right?
Absolutely. Or, if it was a situation where we had to come into the house, everybody would mask up like, protocol says that you're supposed to do. We all got through it. We all survived it.
Right.
But it was scary at first for anybody, not just in business, but the general population. But we survived.
As business owners, I think just the uncertainty of it was scary. Like people like me anyway, we don't really like uncertainty. We don't, you think back, you've been through difficult economic times, but this was so different, and not knowing what was going to happen. That was one of the biggest challenges.
When they say the whole world's going to shut down, that's
right.
Like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do?
Yeah, and originally it was going to be for a couple of weeks, and then it's like we're going to shut down to slow the spread, and now we're going to be shut down even longer. So it was scary times for sure. So, talk about, you mentioned coming from a big family. Who have been some of the biggest influences in your business career that have really, you look back and say, boy, I wouldn't be here without them?
That's a tough one. There have been, when I got into property preservation, there's a local broker that kind of took me under their wing and showed me the preservation side of it. And I loved it, got more and more into it. I do a lot of work in the area for brokers and banks. So I know probably the biggest majority of brokers and real estate agents here. But I would have to say another business owner.
Right. You really do need a deep support system to be a successful business owner, I think, because it can be lonely at times. You can feel like you're on an island. So having somebody that you can lean on and call and ask questions and bounce ideas off or just vent to.
I'm just one that can't sit still. So, people say to me all the time, when are you going to retire? I said,
I always say never, but
I can't even fathom that.
Right.
Because I have a routine and I don't think I could
right.
survive that. I have to have a purpose every day, and getting out, going to work every day and dealing with my customers is my biggest joy.
Right. On the days that are more challenging than others, what are some things that you lean on or some things that you do to get through those challenges?
Oh, there's a lot of different things. You talk to different business owners that may be experiencing the same thing that I'm going through. That's the great thing I have to say about social media. A lot of people don't like Facebook or social media, but I can talk to people all over the United States or across the world, and we can bounce things off of each other that are going through similar situations. So
it's all how you use it, I guess.
You have to use those things that are available to you. So
what advice would you give to young aspiring entrepreneurs maybe thinking about opening a business? Do it.
Don't sit back and wait for it to come to you, because it's not going to happen that way. This isn't a fairy tale. This is real life. If you want to be a business owner, learn everything that you can about the type of industry that you're going to go into. You have to not be afraid to talk to people. I'm a people person. I'm not afraid to say anything to anybody or ask a question. And I think there's a lot of people that want to go into business, but they're kind of timid. And you have to come out of your shell in order to be successful. And I tell anybody young, I wish I could get somebody young or from the college or something to get on the truck with me. You want to see what the landfill's really like? I'm going to take you on a journey.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't realize I'm the local landfill. Of course, I have seen employees, females, that drive the trash trucks. But as far as going into the landfill 1 to 3 times a day like I do, I'm the only independent female business owner that I have ever seen in there for the last 4 years.
Wow.
So don't be afraid to drive a truck, pull a trailer, because it can be done.
I think that'd be a good video, Joe. You ride around with a camera and on the trash truck, all that, yeah. So, if people wanted to learn more about your services or get a hold of you, how could they do that?
The best way to get me, because I have like 6 outlets, is text me at 618-781-1407 or call that number, or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Well, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations on 30 years being a business owner and all you've done for the community. We really appreciate it, and definitely check out their services. Lots of new services available from Denise Sparks.
Thank you.